Welcome to my countdown of the top 15 Wizards of the Coast sets from worst to best. We're going to be talking about base set to Sky Ridge. We're not talking about Japanese in this video, just English. There's 15 sets here. I know we've got things like Southern Islands, VS series, Vending series, but these aren't like booster box sets. These are all, different types of releases, so I'm not going to include them on the list. And while this list is my opinion, I've tried to make it as factual as possible. I've ranked each set with 3 categories, being artwork, theme, and chase cards. So without any further ado, let's get into number 15. Number 15, Burger King Foot Lettuce. I'm joking. Right, base set 2. This set does not need to exist. It didn't bring anything to the table other than a set symbol. It's a combination of base set and jungle, meaning the identity of this set is just a blur of 2 other unique sets. The pack art feels extremely lazy, and I'm not even going to talk about the artwork yet because all of these cards are reprints from other sets. I'd give the artwork overall a 5 out of 10, the theme overall a 5 out of 10, and chase cards a 6 out of 10, adding up to an overall score of 16. Now this set actually got a bonus point in my ranking, but still came second to last. I've tried to keep an open mind with this set, but I can't imagine the pain of opening an art set just to pull Brock's Rhyhorn, Brock's Zubat, Misty's Tentacle, and Misty's Goldeen as your rare. Yes, these are rare cards in this set. Since I've already pissed some people off with this opinion, I might as well throw in a hot take that this is one of the worst Gengar artworks ever for me. It's stupidly overrated. Boring, plain, Ken Sujimori bullshit. However, Blaine's Moltres is one of the nicest looking vintage cards. So overall, the arts in this set are a mixed bag. It gets a bonus point for introducing trainers Pokemon though. The artwork I'm going to give a 6, theme 6, chase cards 5, for an overall score of 18. The second set of all time and the first set to have a real theme, Jungle. The highlights of this set are of course the 3 eeveelution holos, and I also really like the simplistic Snorlax and Mr. Mime holos. The set suffers from being so small though, only introducing 1 trainer card, which is kind of a blessing if you're a collector and not a player. Like I mentioned, the theme in this set is so strong and there's plenty of artworks that are great even if you take your nostalgic lenses off. The set also famously has some fan favourite commons like Eevee, Jigglypuff and Pikachu. The artwork's probably the strongest asset that this set has to offer, along with the theme. It's probably worth mentioning that this set also had a no symbol variant on the holos, giving it a 6 for artwork, 8 for theme and 5 for chase cards for an overall score of 19. Funnily enough, Fossil actually received the same score as Jungle, but I think that the Pokemon selection might be slightly better here. Aside from the 3 legendary birds, we also have fan favourites like Dragonite, Gengar and Ditto. It has the same shortcomings as Jungle though, being that the set is tiny. If you ignore the non-holo rares and the trainer cards, you're left with only 43 unique cards in the entire set, which is a bit of a joke in all honesty. There's some absolutely fantastic artworks here though. Himeno absolutely smashed it with this set and Jungle. Artwork I'm giving a 6 out of 10, theme an 8 out of 10, chase cards a 5 out of 10 for an overall score of 19. Right, now this is controversial, but base set ranked 11th place. I gave this set 2 bonus points as it's the set that started it all. I can't overstate how many people this set has impacted. Even if you weren't here for the original base set, you've probably experienced it through sets like Eeveelutions. There's definitely some classic artworks in here, some of my favourites being Dragonair, Abra and Tangela. But there's so many duds in here as well. Certain cards are just too plain, uninspired, lazy or just straight up ugly. I don't think the illustrators had any idea how big Pokemon would become, otherwise they would have tried harder. Of course this is also the set that birthed the iconic Charizard artwork, and for that I pay my respects. I personally think the shadowless version of base set is the best version, but what do you guys think? I'm going to give the artwork a 4, the theme a 6, the chase cards an 8, the bonus points 2 for an overall score of 20. Kicking off the top 10 we have Team Rocket, and let me start by saying the theme and artwork in this set are really on point. This is the set that introduced Dark Pokemon. We didn't have Dark type until Gen 2, so the cards in this set just used their original typing instead. It was so exciting to see the evil versions of these Pokemon that we met in previous sets. They all share a common theme of looking menacing, and the selection of Pokemon is really strong here. We have Charizard, Blastoise, Alakazam and Dragonite, just to name a few holos. The eeveelutions are back as well as uncommons, and speaking of uncommons, the artworks are just outstanding. You can really see the extra effort that they put into this set. It wasn't just thrown together randomly. Some of my favourite artworks include the trainers this time. Look how crazy and weird they are. This is also the first set to feature a secret card, being Dark Raichu. In conclusion, this set was a big improvement to the sets that came before it in my opinion. Gonna have to give Team Rocket a bonus point for introducing Dark Pokemon and a secret card too. Gonna go with a 6 for the artwork, 8 for the theme, chase card 6, bonus point 1 for an overall score of 21. Someone please explain to me how they fucked up Gym Hero so bad, man. Gym Challenge is fucking sick. The selection of Pokemon here is so strong. We're talking Charizard, Venusaur, Mewtwo, Raichu, Alakazam, Zapdos, Ditto, and Gyarados not once but twice. There really is no comparison between this set and Gym Heroes. In this set, there's no weak basic Pokemon cards as rare cards, but the trade-off is that a bunch of the non-holo rares are just trainer cards. The Sabrina's Gengar artwork in this set is levels above the Gym Heroes version. Why was this the version that got non-holo treatment? Here's a picture of the card with holo added to it. The artwork generally isn't like that much more impressive than Gym Heroes. There's certain cards that stand out to me. I really like Blaine's Arcanine, really like Blaine's Charizard, obviously love that Sabrina's Gengar. But overall, the artwork in this set isn't like a massive step up. It's more the chase cards. I think this set excels in its chase cards. I think they had such a strong selection for holos. I think it's fair to give artwork overall a 6 out of 10, the theme a 7 out of 10, chase cards an 8 out of 10 for an overall score of 21. Now this is what base set 2 should have been. In Legendary Collection we have a mix of base set, jungle, fossil and Team Rocket. Not only that, we have reverse holo cards for the first time. I think because base set 2 was so shit, they didn't want to call this base set 3, as it would scare people away from buying it. With a couple of legendary birds, a couple eeveelutions, a couple starters and even a Mewtwo illustrated by Christopher Rush, this set trumps a lot of Wizards of the Coast sets. It's become one of the most expensive sets for sealed products, and one of the driving forces behind this is the guaranteed reverse holo in every single pack. These cards in PSA 10 command a serious price tag, whether you like the reverse holo pattern or not. I'm not even sure if I like it, but I understand why they're expensive. You know a set's impressive when it can turn a simple reverse holo common into a chase card. Gonna have to give this set a bonus point for introducing reverse holos, something we still see in today's releases. I like this reprint for being more than just a reprint. They refined the set and chose cards that actually deserve to be included. Gonna go for a 6 on artwork, 6 on theme, 9 with chase cards, and a bonus point for introducing reverse holos for an overall score of 22. This might be a controversial ranking because some people really think this is the best set ever, or at least the best Neo set. Most people would rank this in their top 5, but for me it comes in 7th. This is famous for having T17 and the first Lugia holo ever printed. It introduced Generation 2 and for that it gets a bonus point. Even cards like Slowking have gained notoriety for being hard to grade in English. This was a base set that had vision. Pokemon had more experience at this point and were able to craft something special and unique. I'm pretty sure Neo Genesis actually means new beginning or something along those lines, and that's exactly what this was. This birthed Gen 2 and this was the first of an iconic 4-part series. The artwork is okay, it definitely has a vintage feel because there's so many Ken Sujimori artworks. I just feel like the sets that followed had much better artwork. I mean, we had more features from Himeno, Arita and other talented artists after this set. That being said, I love these two Kamiya trainers, they're so funny. Let's go for a 6 with the artwork, 8 for the theme, 8 for chase cards, and a bonus point for introducing Generation 2 for an overall score of 23. The next set to release after Neo Genesis was Neo Discovery, and this set I probably would have ranked even higher on the list if I wasn't going based off of the numbers. I think it's really underrated, and I know the chase cards aren't exactly there in this set, but the theme and the artwork is so on point. One look at the box art and you'll see that these cards belong in the set. I swear these cards stayed so true to the theme. I say the chase cards aren't there, but Espeon and Umbreon are very iconic cards from the set. Let me just show you some of the other artwork contained in this set, and you tell me that it doesn't have charm. Some of these artworks can tell a story without the use of words. Almost every single card features a cave, a temple, or just some kind of nature. I think this set has been overlooked because it doesn't contain any legendaries, and it doesn't contain any shining cards, so people just like skip past it when they look at the Neo sets. But honestly, it is a beautiful set. I'm gonna give the artwork an 8. Theme a 9, chase cards a 6 for an overall score of 23, which I know is the same as Neo Genesis, but this is my list, so fuck you. Expedition, the first of the E series. Like Gym Challenge, this set has a killer roster of rare holos, and some of them are extremely low pop even today. The Mew holo is not only one of the most beautiful cards from the whole WOTC era, but it's also one of the rarest in PSA 10, and you know what that means. It's become extremely expensive and sought after. There's only a few lucky people in the world that will ever handle a PSA 10 copy. This set introduced the new borders of the E-Series, like I said, but I don't think it deserves any bonus points for that, to be honest. Now how's this for a rare holo selection? Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise, Gengar, Dragonite, Tyranitar, Raichu, Pichu, Typhlosion, Meganium, Feraligatr, Mew, and Mewtwo. I'm sorry, but that might just be one of the strongest character selections of all time for rare holos. Pokemon smashed it out the park with this one, and it deserves its place in the top 5 in all honesty. I've not really mentioned the artwork that much in this set, it's just really fucking good, that's all you need to know. Obviously the other two E-Series sets haven't popped up yet, so they must be even better. The artwork gets an 8, the theme a 7, chase cards 8, for an overall score of 23. I was surprised to see this set rank so high, honestly, because while it was the set that introduced Shine in Pokemon, it's also about the same size as Jungle. The artwork in this set is strong, most of the rare holos here are really popular Pokemon too. The most interesting thing about this set though was the introduction of Shine in Magikarp and Shine in Gyarados, which I've had to give Neo Revelations a bonus point for. This set paved the way for the legendary Neo Destiny that came next. The art in this set is a lot more stylistic than those prior. There's a handful of experimental illustrations here, and you can feel the presence of Komiya in this set. Overall, I'll give the artwork an 8, the theme an 8, chase cards a 7, plus a bonus point, for an overall score of 24. We're down to the top 3 now, boys. This is a personal favourite of mine, and I think I'd actually like to open this box more than any other box on the list, but I wanted to stick to the data and put this in 3rd place where it belongs. This was the set that introduced Crystal type Pokemon, which lasted for a grand total of 2 fucking sets. I wish this gimmick was introduced in Expedition, because imagine a Crystal Mew or Crystal Mewtwo, that would have been ridiculously cool. I absolutely love the artworks in this set. It's also home to Crystal Lugia, which is a serious chase card. I love the box art here, it's just different. I always felt like this set gets left in the shadow of Skyridge, when it's actually just as good in my opinion. Justice for Aquapolis. This is one of those sets where you'll really struggle to go through the set list and find me a bad artwork. Like, all of these cards have so much creativity, so much colour, so many good ideas in this set. I just think it's 10 out of 10, honestly, for artwork, 10 out of 10. This is going to be one of the only sets I can give that to. So I wasn't lying, literally 10 out of 10 for artwork, 8 for theme, chase cards 8 as well, and a bonus point for introducing Crystal Pokemon for a final score of 27. Second place, Subway. No, is it just me or does Skyridge logo actually look like Subway logo a bit? This is basically Aquapolis, but it contains Charizard this time, which means it's everyone's fan favourite. This set was the final Wizards of the Coast set. This was a big blowout. Honestly, judging by the amount of crystals that they had in Aquapolis and the amount of crystals that they have here, I think they were going to do even more sets, but they had to cram all of this into one right at the end, because there was rumoured to be Jamboree, which ended up turning a bit into Sandstorm from EX series. So like, oh, it's so deep, so interesting, the lore. But yeah, it was at this point that Nintendo took over from Wizards of the Coast, so this was the final set, and they really did go out of a bang. These artworks are just speaking for themselves. I'm not even having to tell you why they're good. You can just look at them. It's incredible. This is another 10 out of 10 set for artwork. I think this Staryu might be my favourite card from the set. It's just, I don't know what to say. It leaves me speechless, and we haven't even spoke about these yet. Look at these crystal cards. I know I said Aquapolis is the box I want to open the most for. Like, it might be this, I'm not gonna lie. This is ridiculous. Look at this art, bro. I don't know if it's ever been as good as this. Like, even after. I don't know if we ever have had sets that have art like this. With this being in second place, you obviously know what's in first place. You're probably watching this video just to find out where I ranked it. Honestly, I just had to give both the sets a tie. They both win. They're both first place. Skyridge obviously got 10 for artwork, 8 for theme, 9 for chase cards, and a bonus point for ending off the Wizards of the Coast series. The debate between Skyridge and Neo Destiny has been going on for years, but let's talk about Neo Destiny now. This set is undoubtedly one of the best sets ever, objectively and subjectively. I mean, I don't know anyone that doesn't think this is a top 10 set. I think the pack art and the box art is probably the only underwhelming thing about the set. The set does introduce some new things. We've got light Pokemon. I still don't really know what that means, but I like it. I like seeing these Pokemon that we've seen in angry forms, you know, like Dark Machamp. You've now got Light Machamp, which is like quite comical. I mean, there's flowers everywhere, some LGBT shit. Speaking about the artwork, again, just another 10 out of 10 set for artwork. I mean, even the commons, uncommons just blow my mind. I know there's some Ken Sugimori here, but there's a ton of Komiya. Great selection of Pokemon, which means very good selection of chase cards. We've not even spoke about the Shining cards yet. Instead of having 2 of them like Neo Revelation, we've got 8 of them here, including Charizard, Tyranitar, Mewtwo, Celebi, Raichu. It's just ridiculous. Like, this is just the peak of Neo. You can't argue that this isn't the best Neo set. I love the variety of cards in here. You've got light, you've got dark, you've got shining, you've got standard. It's just packed full of all sorts of good ideas, and they just perfected it. They did such a good job pulling it off. It is a fantastic set. I'm annoyed at how expensive it is, because I'd love to open some one day, but the singles aren't ridiculously expensive if you're looking at the commons, uncommons. So this is like one of those sets you'd want to do like a binder of. I mean, I've got half of the set complete and I'm very happy with it. Very nice art. And there we have it. The artwork I'm giving a 10 out of 10, the theme an 8, chase cards a 9, bonus point 1 for introducing light Pokemon for a final score of 28, same as Skyridge. I mean, they're honestly interchangeable for first place. I'm going to put a quick recap on screen. Thanks for watching this video. I'm going to do all of the eras. I want to do EX era, I can't wait to do that, Diamond and Pearl, etc. So please subscribe if you want to see those, like the video, comment if you think that my list is wrong, let me know what yours is.